Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Emo Live. It's a live stream that happens from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. on YouTube and these days also Twitch. And at some point of time, I guess it also has to start on Facebook Live because, the more the merrier. But today it's only happening on YouTube and Twitch. So if you're watching on YouTube in the live stream, hello. If you're on Twitch, also hello. Yeah, I see at least one person is there always, which is aliens. And if you are listening to this at a later point of time on an audio app like Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, etc., then thank you for listening. And also, please share the episode with someone who you think might also enjoy the podcast. Podcasts usually grow through word of mouth promotion. So, no matter how many ads I run for it, no matter how many times I post about it on social media, it will not grow as much as it will if you humanly send someone a message and say, hey, this is a great episode, listen to it. And after you do that, also ask them to subscribe or follow the podcast on whatever platform they are listening on. Thank you in advance. Uh, Let me take a look at the comments first because some people have commented about the clickbait title. Taranga said, I'm here for the clickbait title. So the issue is that an actor by the name of Ranveer Singh did a nude photo shoot and posted pictures. They were quite tame actually compared to what people are very likely to run into on the internet. But there are people who find it extremely offensive because apparently his bum is visible. I checked, I could not see his bum because I think when someone says that a bum is visible, there should be a bum visible. There was no bum. There was the outline of his posterior, which I suppose might be appealing to some people and might be meh to some other people. I happen to be on the meh side. So why am I doing an episode about this? I'm doing this because about a year ago, I did a live stream. I did a Twitter thread, not a live stream, a Twitter thread about how the right wing tries to hijack issues in order to divert attention from actual issues. And it's not like we don't have actual issues right now. Unemployment is there, the economy is there, climate change is there, corruption is there, a whole lot of other things, criminality in politics is there. But we don't talk about any of that, and we talk about a bum. I mean, an actual posterior of an actor. And I did a short reel on Instagram yesterday about the evolutionary reasons behind our hesitation to accept public nudity. And it has to do with the fact that when in our evolutionary history there was a period of time when certain actions were thought of as things that we should only do in private. We still think of those things as things we only do in private, but we don't know why. We appear to think that sex is something to be frowned upon, sexuality is something to be frowned upon, nudity is something to be frowned upon, when the actual reasons are actually quite mundane. The reason, according to some scientists, is that uh, when we perform some actions, like when we are nude, or when we are having sexual intercourse, or when we are defecating, we are very vulnerable. So imagine human beings of thousands of years ago, tens of thousands of years ago, in forest tribes. When they're nude, they are vulnerable to insect bites, they're vulnerable to animal attacks, they're vulnerable to cold and hot weathers, and it affects their health. So, uh, in public, being nude is not healthy. When you're defecating, you can't fight a tiger. If you're out in the forest somewhere and you're defecating, you can't fight a tiger. So that's because you have to sit in one place and you are in a prone position and you can't fight predators. So again, that is also something that we thought of as doing in private. Sexual intercourse, similarly, is something that when you're having it, you can't fight people, you can't defend yourself properly. So that also got classified into a category of things that we should only do when, when nobody's around. And over time, when religion appeared and moral layers got applied on top of it, we started thinking of these things as somehow morally wrong for reasons that we did not understand, but now we do understand them. However, we are right now in a time when people are offended at the slightest mention of sexuality. Of course, it is not like only the right wing is guilty of it. I'm saying that this particular instance of outrage against a nude body is being done at the behest of the right wing because they are desperately in need of diverting attention from their other failures, because a right wing political party happens to be in power right now. So all this is happening. So That is the issue. And let us talk about it. Have you guys been keeping in touch with the matter? What is your opinion, etc.? Please feel free to type in the chat. Purvesh is here, Kavan is here, Aliens is here, Human is here, Taranga is obviously here. Kavan says, I haven't really been keeping up with the Ranveer thing, been working on my new tabletop RPG. Okay. You shall not divert attention of this live stream into gaming, sir. Please. You will not. Uh, Rahim says it's a national issue. Of course, it's a national issue because we are in such like we are in a time when there is such an absence of important national issues that we have to make a national issue out of a bomb. Sarvesh is here. Hello. Rahim says I would prefer your style of critique and analysis on mainstream media, but alas, hmm. Well, you can only get those things here. I don't know what you mean. Are you saying you would prefer my style of critique and analysis on mainstream media? Oh, okay. That's what you said. What is wrong with me? I can't read today. Apurv says, "Hi Vimo, who did we become? Who did we become so afraid of nudity and sexuality? Why did we become so afraid? I think afraid is not the word. Afraid of certain. We appear to think that there is something called a moral fabric of society, and that thing is mostly an illusion. There isn't a moral fabric, and because it is not there, it cannot be destroyed. What we do have is pretense of morality, and that pretense is informed by religious ideas. For example, if you ask people why nudity is wrong, they will say random shit like religion says it is wrong, or that if people see other people being nude, they will also go nude. One of the one of the most hilarious criticisms of homosexuality from homophobes is that if children see people engaging in homosexual acts, they will also start doing it. The question should be, bhai, will you do it? If you see two gay people having sex, will you start having gay sex? No, you won't, right? So where is this coming from that people just will start acting in that way because they see it? The truth is that nobody has any freaking clue what morality really means in the collective sense. And I think one of the best things that has happened in recent times is that because of the scientific outlook, we have arrived at the possibility, we have arrived at the conclusion in many cases that morality should be based on well being. When an actor takes his clothes off and posts a picture online or in a magazine, nobody is hurt. Nobody's actually hurt. Nobody's life gets altered. Nothing changes. I had this ridiculous commenter on my Instagram the other day who said that her consent was being violated because she was being flashed, apparently. First of all, there was no flashing in the photo, it was very aesthetic. And nobody was flashing their genitals at anyone. And of course, the problem also is that these ideas are getting appropriated into another narrative, which is moral prudery. Because if the argument is that an actor posting a naked picture online is violation of someone's consent because they didn't want to see it, then that can be applied to anything, right? Someone who's extremely religiously fundamentalist will say that when I see a boy and a girl holding hands in a movie or in public, my consent is being violated because I did not want to see it. When I see a person exercising their religious rituals, my consent is being violated because I didn't want to see it. Sure, you can frame that argument using the consent thing, but it is not a valid argument because if we start using consent in such a frivolous way, you can literally apply it to anything, anything at all. And that doesn't help. Because I have spoken about this before also. Words need to have definitions that everyone agrees on. If you and I are having conversations about a round, red, and sweet thing, and you are thinking gulab jamun and I'm thinking apple, then we're not having a sensible conversation about anything, right? Because I'm thinking you're talking about a gulab jamun, and you're thinking I'm talking about an apple, and we're actually talking about entirely different things. So consent is very important given a lot of things that have happened recently and have been happening for quite a long time, but given a lot of things that have been spoken about recently, the Me Too movement, for example, consent is something that we should educate people about. But using the word consent in such a frivolous way, so as to say a picture getting published in a magazine is a violation of my consent, is ridiculous. So I think this all comes from panic, moral panic. And I think the solution is to understand that things which are harmful and things which are not harmful should be kept in separate folders. Hmm. Peaceful Nook says, so clothes are basically an environmental body armor. Why wear clothes when you're home alone then? Are you asking me why you should wear clothes when you're home alone? I can't answer that. I don't think you have to. If you're home alone, don't wear clothes if you don't feel like it. If you feel like it, do wear them. It's none of my business. Seriously. Taranga says, in my opinion, is the whole thing is hilarious. Yeah, of course it is hilarious, but there are deeper strains also, right? Nader says Taranga sent a link for this saying even Vimo has used a clickbait title. She has been harrowing me for the whole. She also sent me another video saying, haha, clickbait title. By the way, watch this. This is a very funny video. Uh Apurv says in general, not just this latest issue. Hmm. What was that about? Oh, okay. Got it. Taranga says, yes, मैं आई ही टाइटल के लिए हूँ नादिर. पूर्वेश says, कावन is your tabletop RPG include 3D printed ये फिर से गेमिंग में चले गए लोग. Arab says a woman filed a complaint against it and guys started criticizing feminism. This is exactly why Taranga said this is hilarious. This is this is a freestyle kushti match right now. And FIR has been filed against an actor for outraging the modesty of women. Some women are opposed to it, some women are saying it's okay, some men are on the side of the women who are opposed to it, some women are saying opposing this is feminism gone wild. It's a freestyle kushti match right now. I could not make head or tail out of it. That's why I'm doing the live stream, so that we can probably talk about all the angles. Nadir says there is a moral fabric. It differs from culture to culture and changes with time, but it is like food, like a cocktail made of different ingredients. Yeah. So when I said that nobody knows what is a moral fabric, I mean, when people say that moral fabric has been hurt, they're usually not talking about the same thing. For example, you and I might be offended by some of the things that are happening and they're extremely immoral, while others might think that that is the epitome of morality and that people who oppose it are immoral. That's what I was talking about. Taranga says, I have a serious opinion on this also. Okay. I'm just laughing now at how hilarious it has turned out. Okay, so give me a serious opinion, Taranga. Aditya says the biggest issue, legally speaking, is the idiotic vagueness of what is obscene in the IPC section 292 is a pain to figure out in court and it is easily interpreted by anyone in the law enforcement. Fair enough. I mean, our legal codes about offense in general are also quite weird because when UPA was in power, Kapil Sibal wrote a law called 66A, and it had the most ridiculously ambiguous definition of what constitutes offense. And under it, a lot of people were arrested. Of course, nothing was as bad as it is today when everything is, you can't even ask questions about it. Back then, we used to make memes about it. बट या इन जनरल हमारे जो लॉ को फ्रेम करते हैं बहुत ही ज़्यादा एम्बिग्यूअस लैंग्वेज यूज़ किया गया है लॉ को कई लॉज में एंड इट प्रिवेंट्स द लॉज फ्रॉम बीइंग इफेक्टिव एंड इट प्रिपेयर्स अ वेरी फर्टाइल ग्राउंड फॉर द लॉज टू बी मिसयूज्ड. Ajay sir, hello Vimo. Always been listening to you on Spotify. First time on YouTube Live. Had to see the issue for myself. Ah, okay. I'm sure the clickbait thumbnail had nothing to do with it. My fear was that when I put nudity and the nation, some people might think there's going to be nudity in this video. There isn't. If anyone is here expecting nudity in the near future on this live stream, there is not going to be any nudity. Kavan says, Purvesh Vyas, no, I'm working on a tabletop RPG that people can enjoy playing using only 2 decks of playing cards. The set of instructions. Sorry, Vimal, last one. Okay. Gaming की बात खत्म. Rahim says, just shows how suppressed sexuality is in our current society. I feel religion has the biggest role in doing so and maybe being colonized consequently. Hmm. जिन्होंने हमको कॉलोनाइज किया था उनकी सेक्सुअलिटी तो काफ़ी ओपन हो गई है आजकल और तो या उधर भी थोड़े प्यूरिटेनिकल स्ट्रेन्स उभर रहे हैं बट या आई एग्री रिलीजन हैज़ अ ह्यूज रोल टू प्ले इन इट एंड colonialism also has a role to play in it. The problem is when we look at this issue, all we see is a bomb, and we are not looking at the reasons behind why this exists. There are evolutionary reasons, there are post-colonial, not post-colonial, there are colonial reasons, there are religious reasons, and we are not looking at those problems. जब हम कारण के ऊपर नजर ही नहीं डालेंगे तो हम सोल्यूशन क्या खाक निकालेंगे. नादिर says रणवीर is making husbands and boyfriends insecure thereby oppressing them. ये एक और नया एंगल. Survey says, I have seen priests of certain religions, not going to the name of religions, being nude for rituals for extended periods of time. Why isn't outrage shown by right wing? Exactly. Exactly. There are holy men, there are monks, not priests usually. Priests usually don't go naked, but there are monks in many religious orders, including in Hinduism and in certain other Indic religions, who go nude all the time. Like when certain religious festivals happen, TV channels show them, and that there's nudity all over the place, swinging organs and everything, and nobody bats an eyelid. This appears to be turning into a Joker meme. Nobody bats an eyelid. Dhirubai says, I did not consent to being subject to stupid arguments, but that did not stop that person from making one. Exactly. You can't turn everything about consent. And it's a fairly labored metaphor if you want to use a fairly labored method of diverting attention from the actual issue if you're going to make it about consent. Like somebody randomly, is browsing on YouTube, they see a thumbnail of my video and they say, I did not consent to see this. I was walking on the road and a bicyclist went by and he rang the bell. I did not consent to hearing the cycle bell. You can continue doing this forever and it will not be about consent. Nadir says, wear clothes if you're home alone as long as you don't have ants or mosquito problem. Or if you enjoy being bitten by ants, that's also your right. You are not hurting anyone. If you are doing self harm, also that also counts as harm. So if you're not hurting yourself or anyone else, go ahead and do whatever you want. Zia says, hey Vimo, how exactly do movie age rating boards function depending on how sexually explicit the content is? Do you feel that if the nudity is non sexual, it should be fine for viewing by minors? I think there should be. See, I'm a huge fan of movies being rated. मतलब पिक्चर देखने से पहले मुझे बता दो इसमें क्या क्या होने वाला है, लाइक नेटफ्लिक्स डज, राइट? वार्निंग, देयर इज warning, there is nudity, sexual activity, blood and gore, or even mild fantasy violence. They say all of these things. That's a great idea. Tell me what is going to be the movie so I can prepare myself. Or if I don't want to watch it, I can avoid watching it. But don't prevent a movie from being released only simply on the basis that some people who you think should not watch it will watch it, because you're preventing, like we are going for is this a false positive or a false negative? I'm completely confused about that. But we are going for we are going for protecting certain people, and in the name of protecting certain people from being exposed to a certain kind of entertainment, we are preventing a whole lot of other people who might like that entertainment, right? And it doesn't make any kind of sense to me. Oh, Sin says, you can't cause earthquakes. What? I know I can't. Guru Nandi says, thinking of consent, have you seen I Will Destroy You series? No, I have not. Kaushal says, Vimo's clickbait title is so tame, Panga over Nanga is OP. Panga over Nanga. I should have used that. Taranga says, and in this Kushti match, only one man is clothed appropriately for Kushti. Guru Nadi says, I may destroy. No, I have not seen it. Sai Deepak says, that woman is just moral policing in the name of being a women's rights activist. These are the kind of people who always talk about modesty when it comes to women's rights. Yeah, victims of patriarchy. Patriarchy is a system whereby the role of woman has been defined, and many women, sadly, many women also try to defend it. Like, a man should be these things, a woman should be these things. If a woman is not fitting into that mold, many women also rise up against them and say, this, this is unacceptable in our society and all that. Nadir says, FFS, I didn't hear any complaints about this stuff, even from my hijabi wife. Nadir, are you worried about something? Because you have mentioned this 4 or 5 times now. How is she, by the way? Say hi to her. Kavan says, why does feminism get attacked every time a woman does something stupid? But everyone, including some women, say not all men when men do something bad or stupid. Yeah, I've never heard not all women, by the way. And I think it is because women realize it will not do any good. And all women are going to get attacked in any case. It is men who have this highfalutin sense of, like, I'm a good guy. So when you're criticizing genuinely bad things that men have done, I need to be kept away from that because I am special and precious. So that is why this not all men shit happens. Hold on, somebody has set 100 rupees super chat. कहाँ गया? Milind is here. Hi, Milind. Hi, Vimo. How are you, bro? Do keep up with your work. Always with you. Thanks, Milind. Thank you very much for the 100 rupees super chat. Much appreciated. I will just remind everyone that if you want to support my work, this live stream, this podcast, you can do so by clicking the join button below and becoming a member of this channel, or sending a super chat like Milind has just sent. Your contributions help me pay for software, for books, for food, electricity bill, internet bill, वगैरह. Basically, my life is sponsored by you. So feel free. Taranga says, my serious opinion is, how are people not offended that women artists don't get to do this so easily? Forget FIR. Many women artists don't even get permission to perform their art, like my friend. Your friend? Who? She does this play called Thoda Dhyan Se about sexual violence and moral policing of women, and has so much difficulty getting Indian venues despite international awards. Yeah. Ask her to record it, ask her to do it abroad, record it, and then publish it on YouTube, and then it'll spread. But venues में don't करने का कुछ अलग ही ये होता है. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's a very good point. Ranveer Singh does a nude shoot. No offense to the Ranveer Singh, but I think he has every right to go naked if he wants to, by the way. But he does a nude shoot, and some shit happens. If a woman did this, there will be 10 times as much outrage about it, and possibly those photos will get saved in the private little folders of IT cell workers, and whenever she has a political opinion next time, these photos will be reproduced in order to demean her and make fun of her. Robert says nudity is natural thing, and temple with naked statue doesn't offend everyone. Yeah. Peaceful Look says YouTube does not allow videos with nudity though. Well, there is nudity and then there is nudity. And YouTube is not the only platform. You can do it on Instagram, which is quite friendly towards nudity, except nipples for some reason. And also Twitch. You can do it on Twitch. Batman Begins says, I'm just vibing on a song by Yashraj Mukhate, Bum Song. Yeah, that's the one Taranga sent me earlier today. It was quite funny. Yashraj Mukhate, Bum Song, extract from debate on NDTV about Ranveer nude photo shoot. Nadir says, lady looking at the chewing gum spit out by the man on the road, but we can see his gum. Sorry for the unintended bum pun. Apurv says, Rahim, yep, your idea seems right. Thailand was not colonized and it is pretty okay with sexuality. Nadir says, because men have more rights than women, apparently, Taranga. That is true. They do. Or rather, more privilege. Everyone has the same rights on paper, but everyone in reality is not free enough to perform all those, exercise all those rights. Human says, I'm sending message but not sending. I think YouTube block. दिख तो रहा है. Robert says swinging organs. Now there's a bitten by ants fetish is 51st shade of grey. Taranga says, also completing my take on this, this is sheer misuse of laws to address sexual violence. And also, I have zero empathy for Ranveer per se, fully entitled and pro-regime star. I'm saying on this matter, he has every right to go naked. I mean, they're all going to have political opinions in order to protect their personal interests, etc. Manmat says, we had lightsabers of a different kind. 140 crores did not crop up just like that, but now it is payback time. What? Lightsabers of a different kind? I don't know what you mean by that. Human says, Indian culture like Naga sadhus and Jain Mahatma can... ये क्या है? Acha, you're breaking up your words so that the algorithm cannot read it. Unfortunately, even I can't read it. Taranga says, so this friend of mine was attacked by audience one time during the play itself for one act where she's in a bikini. She was saying it in, wow, sad, scary and sad and horrific. Peaceful Nook says, my views on nudity align with PK's. That dude made some sense. I don't remember nudity being in PK. Okay. What? I remember there being some nudity in PK in the first half of the film when he just arrived from the planet. But was there any after that? I don't know. Nadir says, oh, but Taranga, was the audience aware of the content before entering or attended just to do this? That's also interesting. Human says, people, please like the video. Yes, everyone who's watching, please like the video. Rahim says, damn, all the CAA and farmers' protest came from lack of consent. On one side, there is a law that affects millions of people economically, physically, mentally. On the other side, there is a bomb. Yeah. The government can आराम से कोई some Delhi wala can say that the protesters are violating. In fact, they did. Many of them did. सड़क block कर रखी है. We didn't agree to this. But when debate and discussion is not allowed in the parliament, people will protest on the roads. Taranga says they were aware neither. She did give content warning of nudity. She is very well known theater artist. We'll send you the news story link also sometime. Oh wow. Then I guess those people just came to bully her. Survey says consent on internet content isn't the same as in real life, right? Some content creators include trigger warnings. Articles have headlines that indicate content. But no, most of the internet does not have consent. Yeah, and they can't. I'm saying it is wrong to frame this problem as a consent problem. It may be a content regulation problem. It may even be a responsibility as an artist problem. It may even be uh, you know uh, how do I put it, wariness as an audience member problem. If I go on Twitter and I get abused, I cannot blame Twitter that my consent is being violated. I have access to certain tools using which I can block people. I can blame Twitter if it is not doing anything to prevent abuse from happening. But if a social media platform allows me the option of blocking people, I block them and then I don't get abused or the abuse decreases. That's an entirely different problem. And consent is not the way to frame this argument. It's just stupid. And in fact, I would say it is diversionary. Um, yeah, they came fully aware and then attacked her. Taranga says, yes, yes, I have no problem with nudity in art. Taranga says, Are PK ka trailer and poster also led to public protest against Amir Khan, na? Oh, yeah, now I remember. Yeah, 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 yeah. There was some problem with the PK ka poster. There was nudity in it, and yeah, I remember some protests were happening. By the way, I'll just remind everyone since comments have stopped for now. I will just remind everyone that this live stream is happening on Twitch also right now. So if you're watching on Twitch, hello. Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. India time, this live stream happens. And also, it is available as audio on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Ghana.com, Geo7, and wherever else people listen to audio. So if you are listening to the audio version of this show, you can please share the episode with someone you know so that this podcast has a bigger audience. Also, whoever is watching right now, please like the stream and share the video on your social media platform so that more people can join. Samarth says, nudity is not punishable by law either. It is only when it is obscene acts or words. Yeah. So the problem is that in the views of many Indians, nudity is sometimes defined as obscene, and nudity is not always obscene. Because if it was, then there would not be religious monks going around naked practicing their religious views, practicing their religion. Nudity is not always obscene. Obscenity is always obscene. And what obscenity is, we need to agree on. Flashing, for example, flashing without the consent of the person being flashed in a personal one to one setting is obviously very wrong. Radio covering only his. Yeah, 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 I remember. You don't need to give me images. Osen says, TOI ran a story on Indian nudists recently. It was good. Okay. Robert says, Rahim, indeed, Marathas were arrogant sometimes, but with the team Hyder Ali. Yeah, what? ये सब किस बारे में है? I don't know what this all is about. Stream Element says, thank you for following Apurva MC. Hey, people are following on Twitter. Sorry, Twitch. Thanks, guys. We can't do this on YouTube. What can't you do on YouTube? By the way, on Twitch, there are some additional features. Like if you're watching regularly, you get some points that you can accumulate. And there are some, like I haven't used Twitch. And so I remember there was one user, I forget who it was, who had accumulated 13,000 points last time I was regular on Twitch. And she used to, there are features like you have 13,000 points. You can click this button to request something. You can ask me to drink water. You can ask me to something there was. I have forgotten completely. But Twitch still has those things. Robert says with Princely, okay. Human says, also tell everyone about your Hindi channel. I always love all the videos you upload on that. Yes, the Hindi channel, in case anyone is interested, is at youtube.com/Vimo Explains. I post Hindi videos there, Hindi explainer videos there. The focus is science and rationality and, critical thinking, atheism, basically. So if you want that sort of stuff, that's the channel to go to. Apurv says no content restriction here on Twitch. Yeah, I mean less than YouTube, I suppose, but I still have some things. Uh, Apurv says play some Eminem. No, no, Twitch is kind of cracking down on people who are violating copyright. So if I play Eminem, there will be like inside the Twitch dashboard there is DMCA, DMCA copyright strikes, etc. Those have started. Sudipta says people go about religious stuff. No, yes, there are monks, right? There are monks in Jainism, there are monks in Hinduism who go about their religious life, who are there. There are Naga sadhus, there are what are they called? Um, Digambar Jains who go out naked. I had a very weird encounter with, like, not encounter. I had a very weird experience with a friend. We were just standing outside the office drinking tea, and I saw Digambar Jain coming from far away, and I averted my eyes because I didn't want to see. And my friend had no idea that this was a thing, and he was like, "Chai pite pite," and the look of shock on his face. And later in the office, says, "Why didn't you guys tell me?" I said, "Why would, like, we thought everyone knows this. Digambar Jains don't wear clothes." So he was quite horrified by it. रॉबर्ट वुल्फस्टोन, तुम क्या बात कर रहे हो? किस चीज़ के बारे में बात कर रहे हो? हिस्ट्री का लेसन क्यों दे रहे हो? JJ School of Art pays women from backward sections to pose nude, while artists who draw won't allow their kings to wow. I don't know about this. I can't comment on it, but it does seem like something that may happen. Akhil says, I recently found your channel. Now I'm binge watching all your videos. Thank you, Vimo. Thank you, Akhil, for increasing watch time on the channel. Much appreciated, and welcome to the community. I hope you join the live streams also. डॉक्टर जे says, व्हाट्स योर व्यू ऑन आर्यन इन्वेजन थियरी? भाई आज के टॉपिक के ऊपर अच्छा ये थोड़ा दूर नहीं हो गया? माय व्यू ऑन आर्यन इन्वेजन थियरी इज दैट द आर्यन इन्वेजन नेवर हैपेंड, बट आर्यन migration did happen. There was a period in the history of India when the people who we call Aryans came into India. Invasion का कोई evidence नहीं मिला आज तक, so I think that is bunk. Human says, what is Twitch? I never listened about this thing before. Human, twitch.tv पे जाओ, twitch.tv/Vemo live पे जाओ, यही लाइव स्ट्रीम वहाँ भी चल रहा होगा. इट्स अ डिफरेंट सर्विस. यूट्यूब इज ओन्ड बाय गूगल, ट्विच इज ओन्ड बाय अमेजॉन. ट्विच इज ओनली फॉर लाइव वीडियो. ट्विच पे रिकॉर्डेड वीडियो तुम अपलोड नहीं कर सकते. मोस्टली पीपल यूज इट फॉर गेम स्ट्रीमिंग. आई बिकॉज आई डू दिस काइंड ऑफ लाइव स्ट्रीम, आई यूज इट फॉर दिस. इट्स अ साइमल्टेनियस लाइव स्ट्रीम. यहाँ भी चलता है, वहाँ भी चलता है. जल्दी ही फेसबुक पे भी करना शुरू करूंगा रेगुलरली. Jashmin says Jain monk addressed parliament in Rajya Sabha a few years back. Yeah, but was he a Digambar Jain? I don't know. Rahim says, for many sexually suppressed folks, it's liberating to walk nude through a forest, swim through a sea, just to accept your own body and deprogram from mainstream standards of beauty. Yeah, but do people do that? I suppose nudists are people who have had a lifetime of experience as nudists. If someone is sexually repressed or not suppressed, sexually repressed, I doubt they will be very open to the idea of just practicing nudism. Batman Begin says, one suggestion, please merge your all channels into 1 to 2 channels, one for main channel and 2 for Vimo Shorts. Make a different playlist topic wise. Batman Begins, I wish YouTube worked like that, which YouTube ऐसे काम नहीं करता. YouTube recommends videos to people based on their watch history. And by the way, if you have to subscribe to just one of my YouTube channels and nothing else, subscribe to this one. This is the one where I'm most consistent, where content goes out regularly with our regular live streams. I publish articles on the community tab also. If you have no time for my other channels, subscribe to this one. Because iska audio podcast pe jata hai. This is my main thing. Samar says, I don't think I have anything more to say or ask on today's topic. Okay. That's all right, man. You can just listen. Music says, if you wear clothes also. By the way, if anyone wants to talk about something else, please do bring up the topic. I realize that this topic will eventually run out of juice. So yeah, feel free to do so. हमारे पास अभी आधा घंटा बाकी है. Music from the place says, if you wear clothes also problem. If you don't wear also problem. Those people have to figure out what their actual problem is. Oh yeah, compare the problem with a hijab with nudity. When someone is completely covered, it's unacceptable. When someone is completely uncovered, it's unacceptable. So clearly, they're going for some kind of a middle ground, which is informed by what they have seen other people wear. Right? Taranga says, yes, Jashwin, and I bet nobody asked for consent from each MP and staff in the Rajya Sabha for that. Yes, yes. Vimo, he had a podium covering. Oh, okay, okay. He had a podium covering his groin during the speech, thankfully. Oh, okay. Okay. Is the podium not clothes? Oh, okay. Sudipta says, you know the guy who wrote fantasy novel Name of the Wind? He does regular live streams on Twitch. Yeah. Uh, Brandon Sanderson. Yeah. There are some hilarious stuff. Patrick Rothfuss. Yeah, sorry. Patrick Rothfuss, not Brandon Sanderson. They frequently get photographed together, so I get confused. Patrick Rothfuss. Rahim says, what is the difference between suppressed and repressed, external and internal factors? Suppression is often, suppression has agency behind it. Like suppression does not happen accidentally, you consciously do it. Repression is, actually, I wouldn't know what the difference is. Hold on, let me just search and find out. Suppress versus repress. Uh, Repression is often confused with suppression, another type of defense mechanism where repression involves unconsciously blocking unwanted thoughts or impulses. Suppression is entirely voluntary. That's what I meant. Repression can happen automatically, suppression has agency behind it. You choose to dabao something, you're suppressing it. If it is automatically getting dabawed because of circumstances and your history and other things, then it is repression. Batman Begins says, what about your view, Smriti Irani, Silly Souls Bar serving Sanskari beef to pork? I think that there has been some disagreement about this, right? Whether it was beef and stuff. But I think the lawsuit, the complaint that the Congress has raised against Smriti Irani and her daughter, I think her daughter should be left out of it. She's just a young person trying to run a business. But if the point is about the BJP's hypocrisy, then yeah, it's a good case. And I think the legal matter is that their business was registered in the name of someone who is already passed away. That is the main issue. Peaceful Nook says, hey Vimo, can you upload the tweets you share on Instagram on the community tab in YouTube as well? Okay, sure, I'll do that. I sometimes paste them as text because text posts appear to be getting a lot of traction and images slightly less and videos even less. Whenever I share the link to a video, it doesn't get seen by many people. But when I post text, it goes wide. So great. Kawan says he's a great guy from what I've seen. He was being bullied by some of his fans to complete book 3. Yeah, every writer is. George R. R. Martin तो तंग आ चुका है. George R. R. Martin gets really offended when people say पता नहीं मतलब like some people imply, and I'm only saying this because some people imply it. Some people imply that he might pass away before he finishes the Game of Thrones series, and he gets really pissed. Obviously, he would. Like there are fans of his writing wondering if he's going to die. Imagine how bad this must feel. Jasmine says that Jain Muni who addressed Parliament asked RSS to avoid using leather belt and shoes. Yeah, I'm sure the RSS was going to be really happy about it. This is, matlab, RSS. If you're going to give advice about non-violence to the RSS, then leather belts are the least of our problems. There are other places where they can be non-violent, right? Taranga says, no, podium is part of the dais. You have mics. I know it is not clothes. I'm saying it still counts as clothes if it is hiding him, right? Imagine all the people sitting on sides and behind him, and he did walk through our Rajya Sabha stark naked. Okay, okay. Rahim says, damn, I would have Googled this myself, but appreciate you doing it when you're not sure. Stuff like this builds trust. Cheers. Thanks, man. Purvesh says, I need to ask from a long time, and now I have got a chance. How to improvise observation, especially in creative field like drawing, sculpting, concept art, writing, acting, etc. Okay, so I think you mean improve and not improvise, because improvise means something different entirely. If you are asking about improving observation, I don't know what advice I can give about areas like drawing, sculpting, and concept art because I'm not an artist. But writing के लिए, acting के लिए भी मैं नहीं बता सकता. But writing के लिए, I can just tell you that observing and then writing is one thing. Obviously, it's a great thing. Personal experience makes for best writing, and often a lot of people who are starting to write are only inspired by the writing of other people. People who are drawing are only inspired by the art of other people. I had like there is this artist in the Indian comic book industry. I won't take his name because I'm kind of making a joke about him, but he's extremely good, extremely good. He's a star artist right now. Publishers are taking out his art separately in another book and selling it as a special volume of his art. But Vivek and I, my publisher Vivek, my artist friend Vivek and I have seen him grow. We have seen his earliest art, and he had drawn a beggar on the roadside, and the beggar had six-pack abs. And Vivek said, "Why does the beggar look like his Super Commando Dhruv?" So he said, I mean, I don't know what he said, but it seems like he had learned how to draw the human body by looking at art from other people. So, and since the only art he had seen depicting the human body had been superhero comic books, even his beggars had six-pack abs. So Vivek said, go find an actual person who is malnourished and draw him. Then you will learn. So ऑब्जर्वेशन के बारे में अगर मैं किसी एक चीज़ के बारे में अगर एडवाइस देना चाहूँगा तो मैं ये बोलूँगा कि इफ़ यू आर ऑब्जर्विंग, डोंट ऑब्जर्व आर्ट मेड बाय अदर पीपल दैट यू लाइक, ऑब्जर्व रियलिटी. Observe how real people talk in order to write dialogue. Observe how real people look in order to draw. If you're only focusing on literature in order to create literature, then you're only going to create second-hand things. And that's, in the long term, it's not a very healthy thing for you as an artist. Mm, Taranga says, no, only the liquor license is in the name of deceased person. Restaurant is owned by the family itself. Okay. Okay. Robert says, where is human society? We are heading ahead. If Ranveer nude photo is national issue, then my father's constipation is also national health issues. Taranga says, okay, sorry, I will stop making factual interventions. No, please, you are here for factual interventions. Please continue to do so. I sometimes lose track of reality. That's why you're here. This feels like Instagram times again. Taranga in the chat constantly correcting me. That's okay. I appreciate it. Music from the place says BJP people got upset that Supreme Leader's pick was not in Chennai Chess Olympiad publicity material. They got pissed off and walked out. This seems like a good strategy to get rid of them. Kavan says, yeah, I get it. It has happened a lot though, especially in the manga world. The author of Yu-Gi-Oh passed away recently. So did the author of Berserk. Okay. I don't know what that was about. Isha says the bar license was in the name of a dead person. Also, the restaurant is built illegally. Congress is not targeting her daughter, but her. It seems it worked since Smriti Irani misbehaved with Sonia today. Okay, let's see where this goes. Human says, everyone, please share his content. Together, we can make this channel very big. Everyone will be happy who will know about Vemo's channel. Well, everyone is not going to be happy, and that's kind of part of the point. I don't want everyone to be happy after watching this. I want people to be uncomfortable. But people who are uncomfortable and still stay are the people I want to call my community. Deepak says, made it to your live stream for the first time. I usually listen to your podcast during my evening workouts. I will become a member soon. Thank you, Deepak. Much appreciated. And welcome to the community. Jashmin says, African Himba tribe women remain bare chested but wrap their heel erogenous part. Only the husband can see the heel of the woman. Is sexual attraction man made construct or instinctive? It's a bit of both. There is a science fiction story. I think it was by Brian Aldiss, who was the champion of the new wave of science fiction back when Asimov and Clarke were only writing about sex. He was writing about society, and some people were laughing at him about it. But he was a champion. A lot of today's science fiction is a direct result of his work. And in one of his stories, there was this world where women were bare chested, but they all wore masks to cover the lower half of their face. And there were descriptions that did not make much sense to me because I was in either high school or college when I first read this. But there was a man before whom a woman takes off her mask and the man is aroused. And the story is great, obviously. And it, for the first time, it communicated to me that if you are brought up thinking that the face is something to be hidden, then the sight of the face is going to arouse you. And if you have seen breasts your whole life as completely normal things that people display, then it's not going to arouse you. So it's the thought that certain parts of the body have natural uh, you know sexual attraction. I was looking at a comment because I wanted to use your phrase, is seems to be wrong. But it is also true that certain parts of the body are more actively used during sexual intercourse. in order for stimulation purposes. So I guess it's a mix of both. Rahim says, have you used the World Builder website extensively? World Anvil, I think it was. Got to know it from you. What value did it add to your storytelling? Rahim, I don't use World Anvil actually. It's expensive, so I have never gotten a membership. What I use is something called Ginkgo, Gingko app. Search for Gingko, Ginkgo app.com, and you'll find a website. It's an outlining software, so you can create as many notes on it as you want to, and you can organize those notes, you can attach those notes into tree formats. So if you are outlining a novel or a story or even a non-fiction project, Ginkgo is wonderful. I use Ginkgo. Human says, please suggest any science fiction book. अरे भैया साइंस फिक्शन बुक ऐसे कैसे सजेस्ट करूंगा? See, the problem with people who ask for book recommendations is that I don't know who you are. I don't know what you are looking for. I don't know what your preference is. Science fiction is not like if you said please recommend cookbook, then also I would have to ask you किस type का cookbook, vegetarian, snacks, breakfast, right? Science fiction में बहुत कुछ आता है. There is Indian science fiction, there is Afrofuturism, there is American science fiction, which is the mother of all science fiction. There is modern American science fiction, which is written by people of color and for people from marginalized backgrounds. So without understanding who you are and what you're looking for, uh, it's impossible to tell you what kind of science fiction I want to recommend to you. I have a page on Amazon which is at hold on, which is at idhar gaya, here. Amazon.in/shop/Vimo. If you go there, you'll find a bunch of books recommended by me, and I have put them in categories. There is some science fiction books also. If you want, you can try those out. But recommend a science fiction book बोलने से मुझे पता नहीं मैं क्या बताऊं तुमको, because I don't know what your preferences or what you will like or not like. And उसके साथ एक risk भी है. Suppose I do recommend a science fiction book and you pick it up and you don't like it, you'll get turned off from science fiction, and I don't want that. So find books that you like, read them. If you don't like them, read something else. If you like them, read more books like them. That is how you increase. That is how you build a reading habit. Um, Taranga is going to try Ginkgo. Deepak says to add on to the butthurt of BJP members during the chess Olympiad, Chennai also started trending "Go back Modi" as usual when he visited. Deepak Shravan, great to watch the meltdown. See, mera problem is that whenever I see "Go back Modi" hashtag, I click on it and find out who's asking them to go back, and my gut reaction is to create another hashtag, which is no, please keep him. We don't want him back. Please keep Modi. Hashtag please keep Modi. Sudipto says, also like women apparently tend to be more attracted by faces even in real men more by genitalia. Well, women, so here's the thing, any statement like that is bound to be uh, a generalization. There are women who are attracted by bodies, there are men who are attracted by minds also, but I used to make generic statements like this. I no longer do so because I have women friends who are extremely, let's not go there. Some of them may be watching, by the way, may watching or listening at a later point of time. So no, generally speaking, I would say that it is a generic statement to say that women are more attracted to faces and men more to bodies. That's not true. I am definitely someone who uh, I like to think that it's equal parts for me, but I don't think you can generalize in a way that puts women and men in such distinctive categories. Isha says in Odisha, in many villages, men and women share the same pond to take bath. I can still see super senior women being bare chested or not wearing a blouse. Blouse is a fairly new thing. The blouse, by the way, was invented by the wife of Rabindranath Tagore. Fun fact that I learned last year only. Before that, no blouses. The blouse that goes with the sari was invented by Rabindranath Tagore's wife. Strange things you learn. By the way, we are at the 50-minute mark right now. There are 40 people watching. If anyone has not liked the stream, please do like it right now. It helps YouTube recognize the video as something that can be recommended to more people. Also, uh, I don't want to add all my calls to actions at the end of the video. So what I'll do is that I'll finish that up right now. So my point is that if you want to support this channel, you can do so by clicking the join button below and becoming a member. And if you do, you will be paying a princely sum of 159 rupees every month to support this channel. And if you support, then I'll be very grateful. My work depends on sponsors like you. And if you want, you can make a one-time donation by through a live stream or through a through a super chat on the live chat. And also, you can click the thanks button under any video and make a one-time donation. You can also you can also go to my blog, which is at vimo.stck.me, and click the support button and make a one-time donation of an amount of your choice. The blog is also where you can find my writings. If you want to listen to this show in audio format, you can do so at www.vimo.in, which is the website for the podcast. And there are also links to all the apps where you can find the podcast and listen to it. So please do that. If you want to watch my main channel, it is at youtube.com/vimo. There I post mostly just random thoughts and videos, and it's more or less a vlog kind of channel. There are some debate clips there, but mostly clips from this channel go there. So you can subscribe there. My Hindi channel is at youtube.com/vimo explains. I post explainer videos about atheism and rationality there. And I have a gaming channel which I have not updated for some time, but I'm going to start live streaming there soon. It's at youtube.com/vimo plays. Also, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/vimo. If you want to support me on Patreon instead of YouTube, you can do that. And lastly, I always forget this one. I have an ebook store at instamojo.com/vimo where I have uploaded some science fiction stories written by myself. Most prominently, a story called Darshan. Darshan is about India in the year 2050 when a Sangh is in power and the country is a Hindu theocracy. So if you want, you can read that one. Somewhat dystopic, but also I like to think that there's a little hope in it. And by the way, store se yaad aaya, we talked a couple of days ago about merch. Merch is coming. I don't know what will be on the merch. So if you have ideas about what merch you would like to see, let me know in the comments of this video or in the live chat right now, and I'll try to make that a reality. But t-shirts and mugs, etc., will be some of the first things to come. What I'm going to put on them, I don't know yet, but sure, give me a feedback. Mm. Kavish says, with so much news coming from Karnataka, it feels like it will become UP in the future. Hope this won't drive MNCs from Bangalore. It will. If people are creating a political system in a state which is going to be extremely selective about what it outrages against, then the only companies that are going to thrive in such an atmosphere are people who keep the powerful people's palms greased with money, and that is by no extent of imagination what is called ease of doing business. So communalism is directly opposed to ease of doing business and a fair and equal and good marketplace. So all the people who are pro capitalism and think that this Hindutva government is going to support that are completely wrong. This is a recipe for the exact opposite of a healthy marketplace. And yeah, it's going to cost us dearly. समर्थ ने बहुत सारे इमोजी डाले. Taranga says very much like the stream. Thanks. Was one of the funnest ones, especially post a crap day against unintended bum pun. Crap is not a pun. Pun is when okay. Yeah, I guess it's a pun. Yeah, I suppose that's a pun. Jasmine says a kid in the West goes to beach with family where mother sister aren't wearing bathing suit. Kid gets desensitized to women's bodies while male father figure being bare chested while working is common. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. The reason we don't have that, the reason we are prudish is because we don't have a culture of being comfortable with our bodies. Music from the place says all these people who crib about nudity and lose morals here will, of course, be in Pattaya for holidays. For guess what? Samarth says, "Are you not playing games these days?" Samarth, I am, but I'm not recording them. It feels like a hassle to record, then add a voiceover, then upload it. So I'm going to start doing live streams where obviously there will be gameplay and voiceover and everything. We'll see. Rahim says there was a study done that more men consume porn as videos and women more as literature. porn as videos and more women as literature. I consume porn as literature more than videos. But then again, that may be like, an odd one out situation. Hmm. I suppose. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. Kaushal says, when is Darshan sequel coming out? Darshan sequel, I don't know when it is coming out. The sequel is half written. And the other half, whenever it gets done, I'll turn it into an EPUB file and I'll upload it and I'll let you guys know. Vikas says, if capitalist made a bulb which can last 1 year max, where Edison made a bulb which was lasting long, सो अगर मैंने एडिसन जैसा बल्ब बनाकर बेचा तो लोग फिर 50-60 सालों तक नहीं खरीदेंगे, तो फिर इकोनॉमी कैसे चलेगी और प्रोडक्ट्स कैसे बनेंगे? अरे भैया, मैं तो वही बोल रहा हूँ ना, तुम जो प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हो, तुम्हारा गोल प्रोडक्ट को बेचकर प्रॉफिट कमाना है ना? सो ये मत बोलो कि कैपिटलिज्म की वजह से इनोवेशन बेटर हो रही है, क्योंकि अगर इनोवेशन बेटर होने का तुम्हारा गोल होता, तो तुम उन बल्ब्स को बनाते जो 50-60 साल तक चलती और तुम किसी और एरिया में फोकस करते। पर तुम्हें सड़े हुए बल्ब बेचने हैं, इसीलिए तुम सड़े हुए बल्ब बेचने के लिए जो सिस्टम मेंटेन किया जाता है, उसको सपोर्ट करते हो। तुम्हें क्या लगता है, अगर एडिसन ऐसे बल्ब बनाता जो 50-60 साल चलते हैं, वो कुछ और वो बल्ब लोगों को बेच देता, तो लोग और बल्ब नहीं खरीदते? लोग और बल्ब खरीदते, बिल्कुल खरीदते, ज़्यादा जगहों पे लगाने के लिए खरीदते और हो सकता है एडिसन कुछ और बना देता। वो एडिसन का प्रॉब्लम है। कैपिटलिज़्म इनोवेशन को एनकरेज नहीं करता। ये सबसे बड़ा मिथ है। कैपिटलिज़्म सिर्फ़ प्रॉफ़िट पर फ़ोकस करता है, क्योंकि दैट इज़ लिटरली द डेफिनिशन ऑफ कैपिटलिज़्म। Samarth says, "Wow, please try to make it available before September. I don't know if I'll be able to buy merch from outside." Hmm, quite possible. We'll see. आई थिंक सितंबर से पहले हो जाएगा। माय गोल जुलाई, अगस्त, आई थिंक हो जाएगा सितंबर से पहले। दिस इज़ एपिसोड नंबर 97, राइट? माय गोल इज़ टू अनाउंस द मर्च स्टोर ऑन द 100th एपिसोड। So when I do, if it works out by then I suppose you will have it. Human says, can you please start giving all your links of channels and pages in the description? I will do so. In any case, I will add it to the channel page, I suppose. Taranga says, I like the Sabka Malik fake headline because it is both anti-organized religion and anti-capitalist. Sabka Malik fake है? Anti-capitalist कैसे है? I don't know. How is anti-capitalist? तरंगा says, ओके कल राइटिंग साथ ही में कर लेते हैं, आज का दिन मेरा सैबोटाज हो गया। हाँ, by the way, we do need to. I am looking to create a group of people with whom I can write. The idea is to have a Zoom call. No talking will happen. I'll be writing, you'll be writing, we will all be on screen. Basically, we'll keep an eye on each other while we write. If you want to pick your nose in the middle of writing, that's also okay. Just turn your webcam off. So if anyone is interested, let me know. Jasmine says, talk about your comic being released by Radiant Comic. Yeah, that is coming soon. I'll show you the comics. I'm going to get some copies, I think, whenever that happens. Like the publisher has said that they're sending me copies. Whenever they do, I'll show it to you. But the idea is that 13 years ago, I was writing a comic book series for a company that never took off, that never started. But they had the comic scripts and the art, and they are now restarting, and the comics are getting published and they're coming out. So the publisher is sending me the issues, and I'm going to share the copies with you. It's called Divya Kavach, and the company is Radiant Comics. If you go to radiantcomics.in, you'll find you can order the comics yourself. Rahim says, just to say that men sexualize women's bodies far more and far women for women the story, situation, and characters matters more. Hmm. Oh, in written porn, yeah, I suppose. But again, no, I can't generalize because I've read stories written by women which very much fetishize the male body. Taranga says, anyway, good night, dosto, and bum bum bol. Vidrohi says, your views on socialism. I think socialism is very sane and almost definitely a requirement for India today. Samad says, that's great. Finally, the merge is coming and I have a lot to shop before I go back. Perfect timing. Okay. चारवाक इज हियर। हेलो विमो, चारवाक बहुत लेट आया सर, लाइव स्ट्रीम खत्म होने वाला है। बैटमैन बिगिन सेज बीजेपी न्यू करेंसी नोट्स हैज लाइकॉम स्नैपकॉ 420 चिपसेट बट व्हाट? अच्छा, ये दिस इज अ सार्कास्टिक कमेंट अबाउट द मनी फाउंड इन पार्था घोष's हाउस। या दैट्स सम बिजार शिट हैपनिंग ओवर देयर। Kaun says, me, pick me. I want to write with you. I mean, there is no thing like anyone can come and write, but I don't want to make it a public thing. So I'll share the link as a members only post on the community tab, and you guys can click the link and come. Bree says, which is better according to you, socialism, capitalism, or communism? Socialism. Taranga says, wait, no, Rahim, it is because women have less access to technology. Most households in India still have only one phone. Wait, what was this in response to? Oh, okay. Taranga says, because Maliki private ownership of means of production is capitalism, Memo. वही तो खत्म करना है. Yeah. बट आई सपोज दैट विकास के सामने वो बात अभी करना, विकास अभी बहुत बेसिक लेवल पे, उसको हर एपिसोड पे अलग अलग चीज़ें समझानी पड़ती है. तरंगा says, okay, now really leaving, have to work by. Yeah, so मेरा भी लाइव स्ट्रीम का टाइम खत्म हो ही गया है, 1 घंटा 1 मिनट हो चुका है. सो आज का लाइव स्ट्रीम यहीं खत्म करते हैं पीपल. आज है थर्सडे, जुलाई 28th. Tomorrow is Friday, the last live stream of the week. So if you can come tomorrow at 10 p.m, we'll talk. It'll be a chill stream. We'll talk about TV shows, comics, etc. By the way, ऑरविल का नया एपिसोड आज आया है, मैंने अभी तक देखा नहीं है. कल ऑरविल के बारे में बात कर सकते हैं. एंड ऑरविल के फर्स्ट 2 सीजन्स का एक रिव्यू मैंने और अश्विन ने रिकॉर्ड कर लिया है, which is coming out this Saturday on the Gutter Space channel. If you're not subscribed to the Gutter Space channel, you can do so. There is a link to Gutter Space on the main page of this channel. It's a pop culture podcasty kind of thing where Ashwin and I just randomly talk about stuff. Maybe you'll like it. So subscribe and check out the episodes. And until tomorrow at 10 p.m, I shall... Hold on, kya ho raha hai? Until tomorrow at 10 p.m, I shall bid you good night and hope that... What? Ye kya hai? There is a comment from Breeze saying, what is your view on apologists when they don't have any rational, logical argument? They appeal to emotion by saying, without lives meaningless, and there is no purpose. That same species. Breeze, your comment needs to be phrased in a more coherent way. I have no idea what you're asking. I don't know what you're asking. But yeah, until tomorrow at 10 p.m, good night, be safe, and I hope that you all have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.